Can you all hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So I was saying modern school has played a very, very important role in my life in shaping up my future, my personality. Uh, I really owe it big time to Deepak sir, to all the wonderful teachers who have, taught me long back when I used to study at modern school. I'm an ex-modernite, again, mentioning for everyone else. And it's a wonderful feeling to be back here. I'm actually eagerly waiting to be actually at the school and meet you all wonderful students. So a little bit about myself, a little bit of introduction about myself. Good morning, everyone. So, a little bit about myself. I am Sugandha Sharma. I'm an ex-modernite. I'm an anchor, motivational speaker. I also promote music in Jaipur. I have my own live band. Before this, I have worked in several different fields. And I started working early as a trainer long back when I was studying. I've done my bachelor's in computers and master's in business administration. So when I was studying, I started working early and I started working as a trainer. Then I worked in the field of insurance and then I worked in the field of mutual funds. In the year 2007, I moved to America. And just like India is my home, America has been my home for 10 long years. There, I joined a startup company and I worked as an analyst. Later, I started my own fashion brand. So I've been an entrepreneur in America. I started my brand in partnership with my sister, who is also an ex-modernite. And then I ran my own business for some years. Then I switched to the industry. I was already in the industry of fashion. So I actually worked with a leading brand in America before moving back to India. And now for last 2 years, 2.5 years, I have been in India. And I moved back to India thinking that now is the time when I have done a lot of things in my life and I really want to do something where my passion is. And here I come speaking on stage. I love being on stage. I love connecting with my audience. And I love anchoring shows and speaking and, uh, encouraging everyone who is in my audience. And I love to connect with audience. So here it is. Today, I'm going to speak on the topic of how to overcome failure. Not just failure, anything, any struggle in your life. So before we begin, I want to tell you all that if you have questions in your mind or if you have something coming up in your mind, please write a text in the chat box, your message in the chat box. So, the team who's coordinating here for me will read the questions and give it to me, share it with me later once I'm done speaking. So I will be speaking for some time. I will give out some pointers for you all to master your mind when you deal with a failure. So keep your questions ready and handy. Write them in the chat box so that there's no disturbance during the session. All right? So let's go with how to overcome failure. So I have some points in my mind. First of all, what is failure? Failure is something as simple as when you do not reach your desired goal or objective or desired result in any event or in any scenario. That is what is failure. Failure is actually generally considered an opposite of success, which in my head is not, and I will tell you why. So I have 7 points that I'm going to give out. If you have your notebooks or if you want to write them down, you're more than welcome to. And at the end of the session, I will repeat. But there's a lot of stories and a lot of examples coming up, so be ready for that. So my first point of how to overcome failure in life. Number 1, always remember, take life in a stride. Some of you will understand the meaning of it. Some of you younger ones may not. I will explain. Learn to take life in a stride. That means जीवन के बहाव को accept करो the way it is. So many times in our life, what happens, the way we plan things, they don't turn out like that. So when you take things in a stride in life, it's just much easier to accept things. When you take it in a stride, for example, if you plan something and things don't turn out your way, which they mostly won't. Most of the times, things don't turn out the way we plan them to. So when that happens, please learn to take life in a stride. When we take it in a stride, that means whatever life is throwing at us, we accept them fully. So it simply means कि जब कुछ गड़बड़ हो, जैसा हमने प्लान किया था वैसे चीजें नहीं हो, तो हम उसको एक्सेप्ट करें कि this is what it is. The first step itself is acceptance. When we take it in a stride, half of the battle is won because most of the stress is gone. Most of the times, our mind is dealing with the stress of accepting that this is what has happened. It could be a big failure, it could be a small failure, it really doesn't matter. When you take it in a stride, you know, you accept, and the first step is already done. Then we move on to the next step of coping with it or moving on or planning the next step. So the first step is take it in a stride. एग्जाम बहुत अच्छा नहीं हुआ, it's okay, take it in a stride, you know. So take life in a stride, take little situations in your life in a stride. Most of the times, things in your life will not go as planned. Trust me, they don't. In my life, they have not, and in anybody's life, they don't. So the first step, remember, take life in a stride. Number two is, remember, life is ever changing, ever changing. Nothing is permanent. The only thing constant in our life is change. So life is ever changing. This moment right now is changing into the next one, the next one. I don't know what is going to happen in my life after 5 hours. I don't even know what is actually going to happen in my life tomorrow or day after. We all go as planned, but things don't go as planned all the time, and it every moment is constantly changing. So I'm going to share a little, like a short story here that I don't know if you have heard. एक बार एक सम्राट ने अपने वाइज मैन से पूछा, एक ऐसा वाक्य बताओ जो हमेशा सत्य रहे. Tell me a sentence that stands true always. Tell me a sentence that stands true always. And you know what that sentence is? This too shall pass. ये वक्त भी गुजर जाएगा. So every time you're stuck with a problem, a challenging situation, or a failure, keep reminding yourself, this too shall pass. So I'll share a small story from my own life here. Other than a lot of other failures that I dealt with, and a lot of success, failure, everything that it comes together. So when I moved back from US to India, I had, just wrapped up everything there, wrapped up my business, all that. And I came back to India with a lot of dreams in my mind. And just few months later, my shoulder and my right arm stopped working. I could not move it at all. And I was in terrible pain and severe pain. And it hit me so bad because I used to think, okay, so now I have wrapped up everything. I'm ready to begin a new life here. And this is what has happened. I cannot even stay fit. But every day I reminded myself, whenever I dealt with severe pain, I reminded myself, this too shall pass, because it actually does. ना success permanent रहती है, ना failure permanent रहता है. There is no situation in your life that stays permanent. Every moment is changing. Everything is temporary. So when you remind yourself that, when you deal with the failure, कोई चीज बहुत बुरी हो गई है, बहुत बुरा feel हो रहा है, at that time, remind yourself, this too shall pass. Life is ever changing. It is not permanent. Your failure is not permanent. All right, so number 3, my favorite point. Number 3 is learn to joke about it. Learn to joke about your failures and your challenges. I always do that. So when you joke about your failures, you lighten it all up. You just make it all lighter and cool. And when you're dealing with something, it's okay to talk about it, and it's okay to lighten it all up with a joke, a little bit of joke. You will realize, when you joke about it, you will realize most of the people around you are also dealing with something or the other. There is no one on this planet who has never had any failure or any challenge in life. So the more you joke about it, you will realize and you will learn that people around you are also opening up to you. They get motivated, they get inspired. When you joke about your problems, they get inspired and they come share their problems with you. So, learn to joke about it. I'll share how I learned that. So when I was in uh, high school or college, I don't remember, maybe my college days, when I was studying computers. So we used to have a huge, lengthy course material, just like you all feel that, you all have it. So I was always a very, very studious scholar kind of student. I was, by the way, in a scholar batch in modern school long back when I used to study. And I used to get very high percentages and high scores, and I was the kind of student who would get very worried if I did not get good grades or scores or percentage. So in the college days, when I was studying computers, I still remember that I had an exam next day and I was preparing for it. There was such a lengthy course that there was no way that I could finish the entire course study material. And I felt very disheartened, and I felt like I would fail. I really would fail. There was no way I could pass that exam. So when my dad entered my room, all of a sudden I started crying out of disappointment and being very disheartened. I started crying all of a sudden. And my dad asked me what happened. So I said, Papa, there is no way I can complete this course. There is no way I can even pass tomorrow. So I'm quite certain I will fail tomorrow. And I just bursted out crying. All of a sudden, he jumped and he shook his hands with me. He stuck his hand out and he was like, shake hands with me. And I was looking at him puzzled. So he said, if you fail, I will bring samosas tomorrow and we will all party. So, this is how I learned that, okay, so it's not a big deal to fail, is it not? And he told me, he said, it is so important to fail. I'll be happy if you sometimes fail. And that lightened me up so much. All of a sudden, my mood changed. I refreshed myself up and I studied without worrying about it, that, okay, it really doesn't matter. Let me do my best. Let me study. Let me try my best to complete whatever I can. And then let's see. And I actually passed that exam. But that day, for the first time at a young age, I learned what joking about our failures do to us. So learn to joke about your failures and lighten it up. Just like we all celebrate success, we can celebrate failures too. And I'll tell you the reason why we need to celebrate failure when I come back to some of the point, and I'll mention this. So it is important to joke about failures because, one, we lighten it up, we lighten our mood. Failures are inevident. There is no way you can avoid it. Why not celebrate failures? So when you lighten it all up, when you joke about failures, you will understand. Your friends will also come and share their failures or their challenges with you. So learn to lighten it all up with a little bit of joke here and there. All right, so this was my third point. Now the fourth point is, okay, so I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to show you something for this fourth point. I saw this on a video on WhatsApp, and I really liked this example. And this example really explains my point well, the fourth point of how to deal with failures, how to overcome failures. So if I hold this glass in my hand, and I ask you all, how heavy is this? How much does it weigh? What is the weight of this glass? Some of you may say 6 ounces, 6 ounce, some 8 ounce, some would say 12 ounce, some would say 16 ounce. Everyone would come up with their own answers. The point is, if I hold it for 10 seconds in my hand like this, it's okay, I can carry it. If I hold it, if I carry it in my arm for 1 minute, I can carry it easily. If I carry it for longer, 10 minutes, it starts feeling heavier to me, to my hand. If I carry it longer than that, 30 minutes, it feels much heavier. If I carry it for 1 minute, 2 minutes, for 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, it will be even heavier to my arm. So after a certain time, the longer I carry it, it will seem heavier to me. My hand will become numb, my arm will become numb, and it will become difficult for me to even carry it. So how heavy this glass is depends on how long I hold it, I carry it. So this brings me to my next point. Don't carry the weight of a failure too long. Don't carry it for so long in your mind that it brings you down. So the longer you carry the weight of the failure, the heavier it feels, the heavier, the faster it brings you down. So learn to let go. It is important to let go of the thoughts of things that bring you down. If it's failure, then let go. It's all right. The longer you carry the weight in your mind, the heavier it feels, the faster it brings you down. All right? So don't carry the weight of a failure too long. Learn to let go. Then the fifth point, focus on the learning of the failure than the failure itself, instead of the failure itself. And this is exactly the point that I meant why we need to celebrate failures. Every failure brings immense learning, immense learning. There is not a failure in your life that will not bring any learning. You may also, you may deal with different kind of failures in life at different ages. Right now it's all academic scores, grades, itne percentage aana, sports, cultural programs, all that. Later when you grow up, it may be relationship failures, it may be related to your kids, it may be related to your work projects at workplaces, your business, your finances. It's a long life ahead. Even parents who are listening, I'm sure they would agree with me that every failure brings immense learning. There are times when you start something and then it doesn't work. For example, you start a business tomorrow, it doesn't work. Instead of focusing on the failure, because the more we focus on the event of failure, it really brings you down. It is better to focus on the learning aspect of the failure instead of just focusing on the failure itself, right? So there are different areas where you would feel that there is a challenge, there is a failure, there is not a single area where you do not learn. There is not a single thing like that. When I started my business, every day, every month, new problems came in, new challenges came in. Happens when you join a new work also. So every time there is a failure, or not only a failure, there is a challenge or obstacle, focus on the learning from it instead of the failure itself. The more you focus on the learning from the failure, your approach towards the failure becomes more constructive and more useful for you. I really believe if you do not learn from your failures, you let it go waste. Every failure, every challenge in our life is for a reason, is for all of us to teach something, to train us into something. If we do not extract a learning from a failure, that means it will some way in futures come up again in some or the other form. Because we are supposed to learn from each failure. That is why it has happened in our life. So focus on the learning of the failure than the failure itself. That is another way of dealing with it more positively. And The next point I have is very important. I love this point. I always share it with all, uh, younger generations and all, because it is important for each one of you to remember this. Point number 6, always remember your journey is your journey. This is your path, your journey. There is no peer pressure unless it's sports competition or something. So I'll explain it. Your journey is your journey. There is no peer pressure. Don't get too bogged down by that. So always remember, whatever you're doing in your life, whatever you're studying, you're doing, your path is all different than the people around you. Because each one of us has their own path. I have my own path. My best friend from modern school has his own path. My friends from college have their own path. They are all leading their life. Each one of us has their own journey. This is your journey. Everyone is actually going through their own journey. So your journey is your journey. Always remember that. When you focus on yourself, you focus on the growth, your own growth that you have seen, that you need to work on. So stop getting too pressurized by, oh, मेरे दोस्त के तो इतने नंबर आ गए, उसका तो कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम में हो गया, मेरा तो हुआ नहीं. I wrote the exam, I studied better, but उसका हो गया, मेरा नहीं हुआ. Compare yourself from your own past. Constantly work on your own growth. That, where I was yesterday, what I am today, should I do to make myself better? If I have failed at this, where do I lack? This is your journey. I will tell you examples like, for example, right now, it seems you all have same path because you're studying in the same class. You're studying in the same grade. You are studying the same subjects. You're appearing for the same exams. You have the same question paper. This is only until your school life or your academics life. There is no same question paper for anyone in this life. Everyone's question paper is actually different. So right now, if you're studying with your school friends, your batchmates, you will probably feel like, मेरे इतने marks नहीं आए, इसके इतने marks आ गए, sports में अच्छा है. Some of you may be studying science. Some others may be studying commerce. Some of you who are younger ones will join some subject or mainstream later. Some of you may go out to become engineers. Others may go out to become doctors. Some may join the fields of art, music, dance, anything. Some of you may become book writers, authors. Some of you may want to become speakers like me. Right now, it seems like you all have same path, but it is not true. Someone who is an engineer, who becomes an engineer, would eventually become one of my engineer friends, who he happened to complete engineering, computer course, everything. He is one of the most famous RJs right now, radio jockeys right now. He completely switched his field. I am an MBA, was running my business. I have completely switched my field and I decided to be a speaker and anchor. There have been people who were studied in a different field, some chemical engineer and is working in IT now. Somebody working in IT has completely switched their job and a different field altogether. So right now, it seems like you all have same path, but each one of us has their different path. Some of your friends may, when you get out of school, you will join colleges. Some, even in personal life, some of you may marry at the age of 25, 26, have kids by the age of 30, 31. Others may not even marry by the age of 33. Someone may be single at the age of 38. Someone may have 5 kids by the age of 40. It really doesn't matter. It's their journey. Your journey is your journey. When we grow up, when we go out of school, college, when we are working in different fields, we realize each one of us has their own journey. So if right now you're dealing with anything, or you deal with any failure or low grades, or school mein aisa nahi hua, project mein aisa nahi hua, sports mein aisa nahi hua, Remember, this is your journey. You all get, I have noticed that people get so worried about ये मेरे लिए क्या सोच रहा है, what is this person thinking, मेरे लिए मेरे friend ने क्या सोचा, मेरे लिए उस दोस्त ने क्या सोचा, मेरे लिए uncle auntie क्या सोच रहे हैं. No, remember to focus on your journey. The more focused you are on your journey, you will grow better. So remember to focus on what I was yesterday and what I can become tomorrow. What did I do today? What did I do yesterday to get better at this? If I failed, what do I do to improve next time? Where do I go? Where is my life taking me? What are my goals? If I want to become such and such, if I have such dreams, how do I go about them? Don't waste your energy on what others are doing, and don't get so pressurized by your peers. Always remember that it is your journey. Focus on your journey, your own growth compared with your own past. So remember, your journey is your journey. Stop getting worried about peer pressure when you deal with any failure. All right, number 7, point number 7. It is one of my favorite points again. I call it distraction therapy. I have named this point distraction therapy, and there are ways to do it. Distraction therapy doesn't mean that you completely stop working, not focus on what is happening in your life. It simply means dealing with the failure with a more positive approach of coping with it and not getting too negative about it. So distraction therapy has some points. Talk it out. When you're dealing with something, if something goes wrong in your life, if you're dealing with a challenge, if you're dealing with a failure in your mind, if you're dealing with something that is troubling you, please talk it out. We all have someone, at least one or two people in life who we can share our problems with, challenges with. It could be your mom, it could be your dad, it could be your friends, it could be your best friend, could be your cousin, could be uncle, auntie, principal, teacher, your favorite person in life with who you can share your happiness as well as your troubles, your challenges, your failures. And please, the most important point, choose that person wisely. You will always have people around you that will either bring you down or encourage you. Share your things, your problems, make friends with people who are motivating you, always encouraging you. And be that someone for others. Not only look for that someone. If somebody shares your problem with you or a failure with you, what do? Do you speak like, अरे अब तुझसे कुछ नहीं हो सकता यार, तेरे तो लाइफ खत्म है. There is another way of saying it, that doesn't matter, ये तो एक बार हुआ है, you have this, that, you have so much potential, next time करेंगे यार. You know, so be that person for others. Also talk to such persons. If somebody you feel brings you down, demotivates you, do not be in that company. That is not the right company for you. Don't even be that for others. So the first step, talk it out. When you're dealing with something, talk it out and talk to the right people. It doesn't matter who that person is in your life. Should be the motivating, encouraging person for you. Number 2, workout. This is how I cope with stress or anything that is bringing me down or any failure. Some of you may want to, may like, आप में से कुछ लोग must be like basketball players, somebody likes cricket, somebody likes bike riding, the bicycle riding, somebody is a swimmer. It's all different. Whatever sport, athletic sport or workout or running, jumping, skipping, whatever it is. For me, it is running. When I was dealing with the biggest challenge in my life when I was in US related to my personal life, every day was so stressful. All I did was I started running. First day I ran 1 kilometer. Second day I pumped it up. I could not even run initially. In few days I started running 5 kilometers every day. And this was all coming from the stress I was dealing with. The only thing I did was work out. After the workout, I would feel better. I would feel lighter. I would feel fresher. My body would feel lighter. My mind, mental, emotional being would feel more fit. After some time, I actually started participating in 5K runs. So it all actually turned out better. That, I started doing it to deal with stress or to deal with the failure in my life. And I became fitter and I became more athletic and I became more mentally, emotionally, physically strong. So workout, when you're dealing with anything, workout is anyways good. So workout and choose your own happy workout. It really doesn't matter what it is. It can be any sport, anything that you like. It'll always make you feel good. Push yourself to work out when you're dealing with something. All right? And choose a hobby at that time. Switch to a hobby. For me, it's dancing. It could be anything for you. So I'll share another example from my school days. When I used to feel, I was a very short-tempered kid. And it's again back to modern school days. When I used to share something, they asked my parents for something and they said no, I would feel very bad about it. I used to feel very angry about things that did not happen my way. And I the way I dealt with it was, there were times when I was so angry, I would shut my room, put the music on, and would start dancing. I would dance for 15 minutes, half an hour. I was always a dancer kind of person. I'm a dancer by heart and soul. After some time, after a few minutes, I actually felt better. My anger would be gone. I would be happier. And then I'm not even troubling anyone. So this is how, when you choose something that makes you happy, when you distract your mind to something that makes you happy, most of the times it's your hobby, it helps us deal with any failure or any challenging situation much better than we imagine. Plus it makes it more constructive experience. I've actually noticed that when we are stressed or when we are dealing with something and we switch to our hobby, we're actually putting more energy into it than the usual times, and it turns out better. You may sketch better at that time. So some of you may have uh, you know some of you may want to be a like sketch and good painters. Some write poem, some just write blogs. Some of you may just like cooking or any other hobby. I like to dance. Some of you must be singers, music, any instrument players, anything that you like. Switch to that when you're dealing with something challenging, because everything is energy. When your energy is being more focused on the failure, you focus it on your hobby, you distract your mind, you actually turn to something positive and you create something good in life, or you create good energy in life. So this is my distraction therapy. Point number 7, talk it out, work out, dance. I've written dance. You can write whatever you want to, any hobby that you like. Or even parents or teachers who have joined, please, whenever you're dealing with stress, just do whatever makes you happy. Listening to music, cooking, because there is no way in life to not have failures. Rather, look at it in a more positive way and deal with failures in a more constructive way. So these are my 7 pointers of how to cope with, how to overcome failures in a more positive way of, uh, uh, overcoming them or dealing with them. So I will repeat the points. And then I also want to share something else that is on my mind. Number 1 was take life in a stride. Number 2, remember everything is in life is ever changing. Nothing is permanent. Number 3, learn to joke about it. Joke about your failures. Number 4, don't carry the weight too long. Number 5, focus on the learning rather than the failure itself. Number 6, your journey is your journey. And there is no peer pressure. Your journey is your journey. Number 7, distraction therapy, which has some pointers. Talk it out, choose your hobby, and work out. All right. So these are my 7 points. So there is another point in my mind. I really feel that there are 2 types of failure in our life, and which there is one type of failure that we all discussed, that when we attempt something and it doesn't work our way, the desired result is not what we expected, is one kind of failure. There is another kind of failure. When we do not even attempt with the fear of failing at it, I really feel that is a bigger failure than the failure after attempting. I really feel that that failure is even bigger because nothing has even happened. We did not even realize the scope of it. So there's not only that failure which comes after attempting something. एग्जाम दिया नहीं हुआ, competitive एग्जाम दिया नहीं हुआ, इंटरव्यू में गए नहीं हुआ, प्रोजेक्ट बना रहे थे फेल हो गया, कोई बिजनेस था नहीं वर्क किया, किसी चीज में सक्सेस नहीं हुई. That is a different type of failure. There is another failure when you do not even attempt. You want to do something in life, you do not attempt because of the fear of failure. That is a bigger failure. So please do not hold yourself back from trying, attempting things, because it's actually good. Just like how I told you that it's good to celebrate failure sometimes. Go with that attitude and attempt what you want in life. So इसके लिए मेरे पास एक जावेद अख्तर साहब के 2 लाइनें हैं और ये मुझे बहुत पसंद है और ये मैं I like to share it. I don't know if the younger ones would understand, maybe someday when they listen to this recording, or their parents. So जावेद अख्तर साहब का कहना है ये, क्यों डरें जिंदगी में क्या होगा, क्यों डरें जिंदगी में क्या होगा, कुछ ना होगा तो तजुर्बा होगा. Right? So this is what it is, and this is where I would like to end my notes, my session, my talking. I would like to open it up for you all to share your questions, to share whatever you want to. If you have any experience, if you tell me, write something, I will share. I also want to mention that I am available on Instagram at Sugandha Sharma 10. If any of you, any parents, any kids, or any of you wants to reach out to me, I love to help all the youth and the younger generation. I really enjoy doing this. So any of you who has things in mind or who want to talk to me about something, you can always reach out to me. Please find me on Instagram. You can shoot me a message there and I will try to respond back. So I can ask maybe, people who are helping me here, the team, maybe there is Meenakshi who's helping me here to write my Insta ID, or you can find it on the flyer on Modern School flyer where I was tagged, Sugandha Sharma 10. So I don't want to be unreachable for you all. If any of you feels like reaching out to me, talking to me about something, or if you have any feedback for me, please feel free to come up with it. All right. And if you have any questions now, you can shoot the questions at me. And if you don't have questions, I can share one more story with you.
Hello, ma'am Sugandha. Thank you so much for connecting with us and taking out time from your busy schedule to talk to our children and talk to our parents and the staff. And your topic, overcoming failure, is an appropriate topic for right now. Whatever we are going through, we are having so much of pressure and all this pandemic thing going on. So thank you so much for taking out time and talking to our children. And I liked a lot of things, like the 7 pointers which you gave. They are amazing. We all should work on that. And your one, that comment with the comment which you gave, no, this too shall pass. So we all are just thinking that this too shall pass. We are waiting for it to pass.
Even the corona times, every day we have to remind ourselves this too shall pass. It's not permanent. It may take longer, but there will eventually, things will change. There's nothing that stays permanent. And I really feel that some of you may have liked some points. I don't know if all people have joined for entire time, if you got to hear some points, because each point is different on its own. And I tried to keep it simple for the students so that they kind of, relate to it. I hope it helped them. I can't tell you how amazingly overwhelmed I have been since yesterday to realize that I'm coming back to modern school, my own school, with some value to give, It's a very, very different feeling, very different feeling.
Are like it's our pleasure that you came over and you talked to our children. And we have a few questions from the students here.
Okay.
There's one question, but the child is asking that what if our parents start comparing us to other children and constantly tell us that uske marks to tumse zyada aaye hain, and they keep pressurizing us to get more marks in the exam than others.
I
A
kind of,
general question from most of the students.
yes, yes. So I kind of understand, and I thought of this that there are so many times. So I was, when I shared my dad's story, I actually felt like I was fortunate to have a dad like that, that I never was pressurized. Or maybe he understood that I was myself goal oriented. So I'll tell you one thing. Whoever has asked this question, yes, it may happen. And yes, it may happen because the parents have this feeling that if they do not uh, constantly tell you, all these things, you would not study. So I'm assuring you, if you show them that you're serious about your future, you're sincere about your goals in life, you're sincere about your academics, then eventually they will also stop pressurizing you. If ever, first of all, I want to request all any parent who has joined this session, please encourage your kids to actually study well, perform, but not create so much pressure on them that it builds up on them. But as a student, I want to tell you all, as a student, as a good kid to your parent, please tell them that, I like doing this. This is my goal. I will study. I promise. If you respond to your parents like, I promise, I will try my best. I don't know if I will be able to get 96% like Vikas did, or get 80% like Monica did. Doesn't matter. But I assure you that I will try my best to do whatever best I can. When you respond like that to your parents, they get a sense of sincerity from you. They don't want to tell you to do things because they want to create pressure on you. They just want you to be sincere towards your goals. The more you show sincerity towards your goals, the more they will be relieved and they will be stress free. So this is how I would like to answer this, that don't. And also one more thing, what pressurizes you is actually totally on you. कभी पेरेंट्स कुछ कहेंगे, अगर आप सिंसियर हो आपके फ्यूचर को लेके, एंड इफ यू कंपेयर योरसेल्फ विद फ्रॉम योर पास्ट वेयर आई एम ग्रोइंग, eventually everyone will start noticing it. And if today it could be parents, tomorrow it could be your colleagues, later it could be anyone else. You have to master your mind to not get so pressurized. Take all these comments and statements from your parents in a constructive manner, that they want something good for you. They want you to be sincere. They don't want to pressurize you. All right?
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Moving over to our next question, there's one student who has asked you to recommend a book on failure or how to deal with failure.
Recommend a book on failure. Okay. So uh, I have a book in mind, but I will tell you that later. That book is for a little bit of older people. For students, I will come up with the book and I will post it on my comment on the Modern School page where my post is.
Okay, now there is one very interesting question for you. The student is asking, ma'am, if there is negative marking, we should attend the questions in which we have a doubt.
Okay, so this is totally unrelated to topic, but maybe you feel like I'm very wise to judge all this, and thank you for the compliment already, whoever has asked this. How I used to take my exam, if I was not sure about, if I was not too confident about my answer in a negative marking setup, I would not take it, because then it's negative marking. Yes. I would not take it if I was not too certain. It depends on how much you're sure about the answer. 80% correct lag raha hai, तो you may risk it. And अगर बहुत ही ज़्यादा लग रहा है नहीं बिल्कुल ही नहीं आता, so then it's better to skip it. Why to go down in your grades, right? And then again, you'll have to remind yourself with the points of how to overcome failure.
Yeah, right. Now there is one more question from a student who's asking how to overcome the board pressure, the board examination pressure which they get from their parents. Again, the same type of question.
Yes. So I think this is exactly the pressure of dealing with the struggle or challenging situation. अभी तक तो pass और fail हुए भी नहीं board में, पहले से इतना pressure build कर लिया, right? So if you have not written down these points, please write them down. I am 100% sure one of these points will eventually help you de-stress. Figure out ways, plan to study a certain hours, start studying earlier, then ekdam last minute padhne ki bajaye, start studying earlier. Plan, write your goals, plan and study. Also take out time for something like de-stressing yourself, like a workout, like I shared, dance. And also remember, nothing is permanent. Eventually you will write your exam. If you're not stressed about it, you will write your exam better. The more planning goes something, lesser the chances of dealing with a bigger failure. So right now, if you have time, if you have 10 board exams next year, this is the time you start planning, not after 8 months, not after 10 months when the exams are right, around the corner. So if you plan in advance, there will be less stress. And for other things to deal with your pressure, I have given you out pointers. Remember, also talk it out to your friends, plan things, distraction therapy, use your hobby, not too much time on your hobby if you have board exams coming up, but plan it well so you take out time for your workout, for your extracurricular activities, for your hobby. Because when we pursue something like that, other than the work related thing or academic thing, when you're doing something for your hobby, anything that makes you happy, it will eventually de-stress you a lot. So use your de-stressing mechanisms, the pointers that I have given, but plan. The longer you plan, the better you plan, the less chances of failure and less chances of stress.
Those were the questions, ma'am. And thank you so much that you came up over here and you answered all the questions of our children. And I believe that our students, they can benefit immediately from this online session.
I am so glad to be here. Thanks a lot for having me here. I have one example for you all before I end it. And this is clear example of not to get too bogged down by the failures. I have a friend who's a trainer. And he was in an airline industry some years back. He switched to training. So when he was in an airline industry, he applied to another job, and again in airline industry, for an interview. He went for the interview. He had everything in place. He had all eligibility criteria fitting into it. Everything was fine. He did amazing interview. He was rejected. He was thinking, why did I get rejected? Chalo, never mind, I'll apply again. Next time he applied to the same position, same company, everything. He applied again to the same company. He took other people with him for the interview. He told them about, oh, this interview is happening and whatever. So he took everyone there, a lot of his friends. Some of them got selected. He was again rejected the second time. The third, he still did not give up. He still did not get too bogged down by it, too worried, stressed about it. Next time, he applied third time. He again took some more people with him for interview. They would get selected, he would get rejected, and not even for any big reasons. He was fitting the criteria, he was experienced, everything. But others would get selected, he would not. He was rejected third time. He reapplied for the same company. He was rejected fourth time. He still did not give up, and he applied fifth time. And by the fifth time when he went, everybody in the company, the recruiters, everyone knew him. They had become like friends. And he, by the time it was fifth time, his fifth attempt, he got selected. He got a job letter from them. But by that time, he had a changed plan and he wanted to follow something else. So he joined something better for himself, and he did not join this company. But imagine somebody reapplying, going for interview, 5 times and still not getting to walk down by it, and eventually saw success. So this is a clear example of not dealing with the failure in a negative way, taking it as a motivation and as a learning and reattempting again and again. So this is the approach I want you all to have in mind, and remember the pointers I've given you. So it's this is what I wanted to share in the end. I just all of a sudden this came to my mind, and I like to give his examples whenever I talk on such a topic. I hope it was helpful for you all. If any of the parents, any of the teachers or students want to reach out to me, please find me on Instagram. People in Modern School, the team here will help you do that. So Gandha Sharma 10 is my Insta ID. And the younger ones, I'm sure you're not on Insta, and this is not your time to be on Instagram. Later you can be on Instagram. All right. Okay. So should we end it here, Meenakshi?
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much again. And thank you, audience, for connecting with us and listening to this session from Ma'am Sugandha. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Stay
Thank
safe,
you. You have a
everyone.
great day.
Yeah, take care. Bye.
Bye.